Okay, if anyone's stopping in here, I'm just trying to see if this quality is okay and the audio, and I'm listening to myself. It looks like it's working well. What's up, Lash? How you doing? Sorry, guys. I know that this is annoying, but I just kind of have to stay on here for for a little bit until I see that this actually works, so I can go live again. So I'm just kind of sitting here like a loser. Okay. Don't mind me. Just go about just go about your business. I'm so sorry. You know what I just really despise about YouTube? I love YouTube so much, but what I hate so much about YouTube is that you cannot play like regular music on here. That's so annoying to me. That's so dumb. They need to figure out whatever it is that they need to figure out so I can do that. Gee. How are you, Lash? What's up, Mad Max? Sorry, guys. I know it's annoying. Really, really sorry. Got nothing for you right now. Those copyright strikes. I know it's so dumb, but you know what? I didn't start out on YouTube. I started out on another live streaming platform. And it lets you play music. Like it lets you play whatever you wanted. And so they must have had some kind of like license agreement or something cuz it was legal on there. I wish YouTube would like follow suit. That would be great. I'm getting ready to record videos after this, so I hope you don't mind me just doing my freaking hair. God bless it. There we go. What's up, Mojo? Sorry, I'm not reading tarot right now. I am just trying to check my internet and test my internet. Which mutes them on the That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Pick lets you play. You know, I was thinking about streaming on there, but then I saw Andrew Tate on there and I was like, I think not. I actually think not. No thanks. I downloaded it, I opened it, I saw him on there and I was like, goodbye. No thank you. Can't do it. Just makes my hoo-ha dry, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, I get that. I was like, ugh. I mean, I would give it a try. I would go see though. I mean, that was a long time ago, so I certainly wouldn't like mind checking it out. Hey. Little wrap around. Got to put some earrings on. Can't do these without earrings. Although I would like to not draw attention to my ears because they're so big. You can always tell when somebody has like Virgo or Gemini placements because of their ears. Like if you look at Kristen Stewart, okay, she has really big ears. She's so cute. I think she's so stunning. She was like my old school crush or whatever, but she's a Gemini rising. She has like really big ears. She's adorable though. You guys can't hear my music, right? It's a good cut at Kick if you can draw subscribers. 90%, I think, of the money. I mean, I'm not opposed. I don't like this one doesn't match. All right, let's try this again. I'm not opposed. What I mean, what is like what is the usual content you see on there? I can't imagine it's tarot content. I feel like it would be a bunch of podcast bros talk and incels like, and you know what? I have that perspective only because I went on there once and saw Andrew Tate and left, and I was like, goodbye. I just felt like, oh, this is like a red pill community vibe. I was so out of there, baby. I was out of there. I can't hear it, just hear you. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can hear. Okay, this looks like it's working okay. I'm so happy. I'll stay on for 10 more minutes just to be sure. I'm gonna get one of those little extenders. Well, I have an extender that can like extend because I live in a pretty big house. And so sometimes it gets a little funky when you're streaming from far away from the router. We need something on the eyes. We need a little bit of va va boom. Hold on. I really need an inner corner makeup brush. I have to use my fucking nail. If you want to boost the signal, you can use another full Wi-Fi router as an extension. Yeah, that's what I have. I have one right here. And so I'm going to connect it to the router or whatever. Oh my god. Someone get me a fucking eyebrow brush. I mean, okay, that's good. See, just a little bit. Mojo, have you ever been on that platform, Kick? You ever been on there? Definitely down to try something. I feel like I've always thrived in like smaller places, smaller apps. What? I really like this Bare Minerals foundation. Surprise makeup no, it's definitely not a tutorial. I do need a brush for the inner corner of my eye though. So what I do, because I just don't want to spend the money to buy one, I tap it on the back of here and I put it in. I freaking have perioral dermatitis and I had to wear diaper rash cream on my face this weekend. It was disgusting. Finally, I got some antibiotics to make it go away, but it's like a bit on my face. It was so, it's just gross. It's gross. I've seen it, but never used it much. What is this? Cool. I'm still debating extended videos on Vimeo or Rumble and considering hip. You haven't done Hipsy yet? Oh, honey, Hipsy changed the game for me. Why aren't you doing Hipsy? Why wouldn't you be on Hip? I thought you were on Hipsy. I think at one point I thought that like you were on there and that's how you found me or something. Hipsy is has been really useful for me. And they're not paying me to say this or anything. But it's been really useful because I mean not to like talk finances or whatever, but they take a very small portion in comparison to what YouTube does. YouTube is a gangster. Okay. They're going to make you do all the work and then like some people if they're not monetized, they do PayPal, but Hipsy is literally built for specifically for tarot readers. So it's like you really can't go wrong because it's a system that is built specifically for you and your needs, right? Kind of like the patriarchy for men. This is the patriarchy for tarot readers. Okay. So there's no way you can fail. That's how nicknames start. Diaper rash. Oh, honey, bitches have called me worse, please. If you think that's the worst I've ever been called. Oh my goodness. I love Arctic Monkeys. I love that freaking, love their music. I also like that guy 2 Feet. He's really good too. Gives me those Venus and Scorpio vibes. I'll try it out. You need to do this. Okay. I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm telling you that you need to do it. As a coworker, I guess you could say, as a friendly, I would suggest that you do it. Bet you won't go back. How much you want to bet that you won't go back? I'll bet you right now that you will not go back. I need a better way to manage personal questions. Well, that's the thing, right? So like you think about YouTube. YouTube is really great, but it's a huge network and not everybody gets your notifications. Like if you write a post, it's not guaranteed that everybody's going to see it. If you put that you're available for like one-on-one sessions where you can, take texts or calls where your clients can call or text you or do a video chat or whatever, right? If you put your statuses online, everybody who follows you is not only going to get a notification, but when you're like making yourself available or you're getting ready to go live or whatever, it shows on the front home page of Hipsy. And so you have all of your leads, all of your clients in one place. Just like that. You can send messages. They can't message you back, which is good. Sometimes, as a woman, I've gotten, some weirdos in my time. Got some weirdos. They thought they were on OF. They thought they were on a sex hotline, honey. Little did they know I'm terrible at flirting anyway. Oh. Okay, let's everybody look away. Oh my God. Okay. LND try. Yeah, do it. Go and steer you wrong, buddy. I would not steer you. A lot of people that come to tarot need to do therapy. No shade. We all need therapy. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and when I did my twin flame video where I was talking about how people romanticize twin flames and they just, you know, are actually just in a very toxic relationship and they like to slap that name like twin flame on it. That's like spiritual bypassing. You know, and like when I first joined, like when I came across my first tarot video, I needed to go to therapy. I was in desperate need of therapy, not tarot. I mean, you know, I had just like gotten sober. I didn't know what I was doing. And then like my audience kind of reflected that, some of them, you know, but it's like people look for hope where they can find it. You know, some people join therapy, some people watch tarot, some people join gangs to feel some level of hope. Some people talk to Jesus, you know what I mean? And everybody has their own outlets, and sometimes those change, sometimes they shift. And I mean, when you find tarot, you are probably not in the best place, in my opinion. Okay. I think I would say about 8 times out of 10, if not more, and that's me being modest. Some people join a gym. That's true. Some people join a gym, you know. Um, but it's a journey, you know. Tarot's a journey. I think that I wish people would stop watching too much tarot. I think that when you watch too much tarot, it becomes very bad for you, because it's so very future based, right? It's kind of like the Seven of Cups. It's like living in a fantasy, looking for the truth, trying to figure out what someone else is thinking, when really the answer is detachment. That's the real answer, you know. That is the real honest to God answer. So tarot can be a useful tool, you know, if you are using it for growth. And sometimes I think that like love readings and stuff are a way for you to wean yourself off from one relationship or a thing as part of your growth journey. And some people need that, you know. Some people need that. Like some people who are addicts, you know, they end up like trading it for eating lots of candy to like suppress the, you know what I mean? Like suppress the craving, I guess you could say. Big agree on detachment. Oh, absolutely. Because it's like when you become too attached to an outcome, you box yourself in so much, you know? And it doesn't always have to be about people or relationships. Sometimes you attach an outcome to what you want to do for like a career, what you want to do for a living, and what you want to become. And what you don't realize is when you do that, you are really selling yourself short, and you're again boxing yourself in. You're saying, well, my future and the end of my life or my journey has to look exactly like this, and if it doesn't look like this, or if it doesn't look exactly like the person that I picture myself being with, then I don't want it. And really you end up missing out on so many different opportunities. So it's really about trying to keep yourself open, but always being in a constant state of intellectual discernment and emotional discernment. I felt Dustin after I got into the research on it. Wait, came to me at the worst time of my life, and a graphics colleague brought me a client who wanted a deck created. That's how this all started. Wow, really? That's really cool. Hmm. It was the potential of people, things, job that harmed my peace for years until I started to detach. Yeah, and you like have to figure out where that comes from, right? Okay, like we get it. Jesus Christ. Amazon is so annoying with their notifications. But you know, I have a lot of fixed energy, that Taurus and Scorpio vibe very much. And I tend to hold on to things for so long, way past their expiration date, honey. Okay. If experiences or people were like a cheese in my life, it would smell like moldy brie, bitch. It would smell like dirty blue cheese that had been sitting in a diaper for months. I just, you know, and so my issue is definitely detachment. Um, Especially if like you've been through a lot in your life, right? Like let's say that you get bullied, or you've been bullied a lot in your life and people have just been always so mean to you. Well, the first person that treats you nice, you're going to cling on to that because it's going to feel like a drink in the water in a fucking desert. And that's when you have to be careful, because that's when abusers target you, because they see how desperate you are, how sad you are, how weak you are. And really, they're weak as well in the moment. They're weak just in general, because what kind of weirdo goes after the wounded gazelle? If you're such a badass, why don't you go after the strong one? Why don't you go after the one with boundaries and a high sense of self-worth and self-value? Exactly. It showed me an entire new career, a Sotero decks and Oracle deck publishing. Here we go. I love that so much. You know, I was creating an Oracle deck and a tarot deck, and it's just freaking, it's so good though. Like I'm not even gonna lie, it's so good. It's called Apocalypse. It's so fucking awesome. But I just have a problem where I start things and I don't finish them. Anyway, as far as seeing potential in people, I really think that potential is just um like you see somebody, you expect them to act a certain way, when really that's just like what you would do in the situation and what you hope they would do. You know, it's not like always real. I think it's just a reflection of what you would do if you were in their position, kind of thing. Because I remember, like, I had dated this guy many, many years ago in my late 20s, and he was stunning. He was stunning. He was a model. He freaking was on Netflix at one point. Like he was really, he was, you know, he was funny. He was tall. He had like everything going for him. But he, and I'm just like, wow, like this guy is really gonna do it. And I was trying to be like very supportive of him, and like he just ended up really going down a very dark path, as many people who pursue that line of work do. And I saw what I thought I would do in the situation and not what he was doing in the situation. And that's where the perception of potential becomes quite dangerous. Oh, I would love that, Mojo, of course. And you know, I would plug it. I'd tell everybody whose deck it was. Oh my god, I love this song Haunted by Beyonce. Oh, so good. I'm not like a huge, I don't know. Beyonce's music is okay, but I'm just, it's not really like the vibe. I really liked her vibe when like she came out with anyway, I don't think anybody here gives a shit. I'm just gonna stop talking about it. I'm really trying to love my nose, but I just feel like it's so European. Not bad, I guess. You know what? I gotta stop doing that. You know, sometimes I think like I'm so critical of myself. I'm so mean to myself sometimes. And I really think like, you know, if I was someone else and I heard another person talk to me the way that I talk to me, I would like try to cancel that person. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you talking like that about that person? Oh my goodness. What are you talking about? What's wrong with the European nose? Nothing. I just think what we always want what we don't have, you know? And I mean, I am European. Oh man, that is way too much. I am European. I feel like everything on my face is so elongated and awkward. I love to see the Apocalypse Oracle deck. Once I get fully up and running, I can help you publish. Oh, thanks. Oh my God. Gone. But I'm one of those people because I have like textured skin. I look really bad if I put on too much makeup. I really hate that because makeup is so fun and I can't. I feel like I can't. I definitely don't look better with no makeup, but I definitely don't look good with too much makeup. And I'm getting my hair done on Thursday. I'm so excited. I am so excited to get my freaking hair done. You guys just have no idea. This mousy brown. Ugh, they're trying to keep me mousy, honey. I can't do it. Get on the ground. Feminine struggle of modern beauty makes me glad I'm a man. You ladies do a lot. Thank you for saying that. Like, you just can't keep up, you know what I'm saying? Not keep up. The standard for women is so incredibly high. That's why there's so many beautiful women. I feel like the standard for men is like a bar in hell. Offense. Not saying anything bad about you, of course. In comparison. And like that's very it's very it was very intentional to do that, to make it that way, you know, making women always feel like we have to compete or we have to look better, or, you know, we can't be too skinny or we can't be too thick, or, you know, there's always like something being picked apart by society, by men, by other women. You know, it's like, oh my God. And the internalized misogyny is so real with women that sometimes you just, when it comes to having female friends, it's like flipping a coin. You don't really know what you're going to get. And even when they're a feminist, they still sometimes have internalized misogyny. And it's like, I'm a little bit more forgiving with women because I understand it's something that's just been ingrained into their DNA for so many centuries. It's just, it's been like that. And so I try to have more compassion. Although when women are still of that mindset of putting other women down and things like that, you know, it's very hard to, like, I don't get mad necessarily unless they do something heinous. I just like feel really bad. There's like an energy of sympathy or empathy that I have because I know where it's coming from. Where others can reveal just how hard we are on ourselves. Uh-oh. It's glitching. Are we okay? Freaking PTSD. See. Seems okay here. Okay. Did you see it glitch there for a second though? Saw it, right? Ah, I love this song. What is it? I think it's called Woman. Yeah, Woman by Emmett Fenn. Oh, I love this song. Guys are lucky like that. Pretty easy to bro out with the fellas without bumping into a problem, dude. I think that a lot of men want to fuck each other, in my opinion, even if they don't admit it. That's just my opinion. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying I think that a lot of men are honestly attracted to other men, but I think because like if you think about it, right? At a very young age, men are so very taught that anything feminine is gay. You're gay. Pink is gay. You can't play with Barbie dolls. You're gay. That's gay. Anything feminine is like you must detest it. If you like a girl, you got to push her down in the mud, and that's how she will know that you like her. And then as you get older, with men, the more women that you're with, the more valuable you become in a man's eyes. But the more men that a woman is with, well, she becomes less valuable. And it sounds like the common denominator is men. It seems like, I don't know, it's very strange. It's very, very strange. Because if someone looks better in the eyes of men because they've been with a lot of women, then that makes it look like women bring a lot of value. But when people are degraded, even men are degraded for being with other men by other men, women don't care, you know? But there's so much shame around it. And I wish men would just be very honest about their sexuality and stop being so terrible to one another if they're gay. Like I saw a reel the other day, and this guy, he was wearing glitter on his face, and he's clearly very gay, but he's a man, but he's just very, very feminine man. And like this guy, it just seemed like he was attracted to him, but he was like making fun of him, and he's like, you shouldn't be in here, you look like a girl. And I'm just like, you just want to have sex with him. Like that's what that seems like to me. You just sound like you want to, like, why do you even care? Why is this even bothering you? If you were so secure in your masculinity and your sexuality, why would this even be an issue? No, this tumbler is huge. This is a 40-ounce, baby. And I'm not talking a Steel Reserve or Mickey's. Okay, this is cucumber water. I eat so healthy. Can't touch me. I eat so healthy. So healthy. Art teaches the difference. You focus on the aesthetics of things. People are people, male or female. Men are usually so attached to their egos. I know, and I wish that wasn't the case. And a man's ego can be very dangerous. And I don't say this coming from like a feminist point, on my feminist horse or whatever, but like as a woman, rejecting a man is so scary. Like people are like, oh, just say no, just leave him. When I tried to leave my ex, he beat the crap out of me. When I rejected a guy at a bar, he was acting like he was going to kill me. It was the skit. He followed me out of the bar. I wasn't even mean about it. I said, I'm sorry. No, thank you. Not right now. Me and her are having a conversation. He was so offended. He kept glaring at me the whole night. It's like the ego around that is so terrifying, especially as a woman. Ugh. I don't know. Like, I just feel like a lot of men need some ego deaths, And I feel like men have so much potential. Like men have so much potential in this life. Like they have no idea how great they can be. And I see it, and I just wish that they would just be like, okay, like I'm very humbled by that. No problem. I understand that you don't want to talk to me. No problem. If you change your mind, I'll be over here. Like not a big deal, just move on. I feel like that would offer so much growth. I get that, but some guys haven't figured out how to take a hint that they've been rejected. Well, like, it's not a hint, especially if you're being very direct. And women shouldn't have to be like killed, harassed, beaten, or called names because somebody can't take a blatant hint. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's scary. It's really scary. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on that. I'm gonna keep going on that, but It is scary. And like being on this side of the fence and just coming from experience, whew, it's rough, you know, it's scary. Like this comedian, she stood up on stage and she goes, "So I want to talk to all the men, like, you know, what is like the scariest thing for you that could happen on a date with a woman? Like what would be like, oh God, you know, that would suck." And they were all like, "Oh, getting catfished," right? Okay. And she asked the women, what is the scariest thing that could happen to you on a date? And they all said, murdered, getting murdered, right? It's like that quote, men are afraid that women will laugh at them. Women are afraid that men will kill them. Just ghost them. I have done that as well. That doesn't always work because they will show up at your house. One guy followed me home, found me at a bar, followed me home. I ghosted him and he kept creating accounts, commenting on every social media that I had, harassing me, threatening me. Um, and that was also pretty weird. Dealt with that for a long time. Another guy got really weirdly obsessed with me, and I'm not even gonna say his name. But he ended up creating a bunch of videos online and he was sending me um DMs on my Facebook, and I'm not even going to repeat what he said, but it was like heinous things. And I had to make a police report, and he was making videos of himself crying, saying crazy things, like threatening me with very scary stuff. And I made a police report and they never did anything. Anyway, the guy ended up doing something pretty heinous later to somebody else. Go figure. And he ended up they put him in a psychiatric ward. That was back in 2018. Really, Erica? Yeah, it was like, I don't know. It was happening on my phone. And so I was like, okay, because the internet doesn't always work so well out here. So I just wanted to see like if I could just do it on my computer instead of doing it on my phone, if it would work, because I haven't been live in like 2 weeks. And let's be real, like I have to make a living. You know what I mean? Hmm. That's the type of behavior that keeps feminines and their masculine energy right. And so, you know, there's somebody really great that I watch. Her name is Jewel, but her YouTube channel is Truth and Aspect Astrology. I think she is probably psychologically, she is like the best astrologer, in my opinion. The best. I've learned so much from her. She's a Virgo as well. But she was talking about red pill content and how these alpha men are talking about they want a submissive women and the trad wives. And she's like, it's a performance. The trad wife shit is a performance. And then she was talking about submission and explaining how these alpha males just keep talking about submission, submission. But in order for someone to be submissive to another, they must feel safe. If you want healthy submission, if you want unhealthy submission, then you're going to do things like break this person down, make them feel terrible about themselves, maybe even threaten them, worst case scenario, or do something even worse. So, yeah. So, and I think that's a huge thing is like, and she was also talking about how men don't realize the modern woman would love to be able to have that, you know, to be able to feel safe enough to live in her femininity and be able to give in that way. But unfortunately, a lot of men don't really offer that. I'm not saying all men don't offer that, like no men offer that, like definitely some do. um but just coming from a bisexual woman that's almost 40, like I'm here to tell you, you know, like it's I have not personally really experienced that. Oh, that's okay, Erica. That's very nice of you, though. Healthy submission comes when masculine provides safety, emotional, physical, and some financial. Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. The thing is though is that like some men that are providers, they're not, especially if like that has become their way of obtaining relationships with women, because they've leaned on that. Sometimes the personality or the character development or the emotional development suffers because that's something that they have to lean on. The money they lean on it because it's always gotten them what they wanted, and so the other parts of them fail to sometimes develop. And so then when they do find a woman who's interested in more than just money, their ego has a hard time separating or being able to conceptualize that. Um, no. I think it's like when some of us women we solely lead with our appearance, and then when a man maybe is interested, or a woman is interested in more than that, it's like, oh, we can't really lean on that, or he's not really going for that. He wants depth, or he wants whatever, you know. Um, so we all do that to a degree, but yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for letting me test out my internet. I'm so glad it works. Hey. Wish me luck. So excited to get my hair done. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a really good day. Thanks for hanging out with me. I guess now I can go live. I'm pissed because apparently I could have done this the entire time and I've just wasted 2 weeks for nothing. So I'm gonna go record a couple of videos, but I love you guys and I'll be live. I wanted to ask you, I know that only a few of you are in here. Um, Do you guys prefer like 5 p.m. streams, or do you guys like the like 11 a.m. streams? By the way, I woke up at 5 a.m. today. I love that so much. It's like having 2 days in one. I love that. I love that like healthy going to bed early, waking up early lifestyle. It's awesome. I like the earlier ones. Which time zone? Eastern? Oh, I'm sorry, Vanessa. I'm so sorry. I can do these little makeup lives. I don't mind doing them. Love it. Besides on Saturdays. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just do a poll. I'll do a poll on my channel. You like earlier better? I prefer earlier, but I know like not everybody has a YouTube job or they just sit at home and like obsess over their dog all day and drink coffee. So, anyway, okay, you guys, I love you so much. I hope you have a really, really, really great day. And I will be live this week since it works. Yay! Bye, guys.